Hello everyone, Vito's F32 back again with another deck review. This is the Bicycle Made series playing cards, also known as Get Made, I guess. At least on Kickstarter they refer to it as Get Made. There is a silver deck, a gold deck, and this Kingpin limited edition. So we'll get on to this review. We'll start off with the silver deck. This one obviously has some silver foil on the box, and it says Bicycle on top. And you see this 1930s style gangster having a cigar, wearing his top hat, and it looks really cool, very shiny. It says Made on the one side with all 4 pips. You see some nice retro style effects on there, it's pretty cool. Same on the other side, a little bit hard to see because it's so bright, and because the card is so shiny. Top again, Made with the 4 pips. And I also like the font that they use in there, very nice retro 60s, or sorry, 30s, 20s style. It's a 1920s, 1930s style, maybe 1940s style font. The bottom, barcode and trademark stuff, and bicycle trademark stuff, and USB-C info. Nothing on the flap and bicycle trademark stuff, that's for sure. The back you see looks like a building or a skyline. It says Made with a stylized M on there. All 4 pips again. And on the flap, Made. You get a couple of details on here as well. A couple of, it's hard to see because how shiny they are, but pretty cool nonetheless. Almost looks like a snowflake or something. The gold one, we'll look at this one quickly. We'll just look at the boxes quickly and then we'll look at cards. This one says Bicycle on top, Made on the bottom. And this one just has kind of a gold metallic ink, no foil. At least I'd say it's metallic ink. And you see a different gangster with a 1930s style machine gun. It says Made on the side. This time they got all 4 pips twice. And same on the other. Top, again Made with 4 pips. And the bottom again the same. And in the back you see some kind of a stick, chick I should say, not a stick. Some kind of a chick, looks like something architectural maybe. And then it says Made with all 4 pips. And that M again. The other one, or on the flap, you get the M instead of an M and Made. It just says M. And you get a couple different stars, snowflakes on those flaps. And then for this one, the Kingpin edition, it says Bicycle on top. Kingpin Made limited edition on the bottom. You see some of that 1930s, 40s style details again. And that's basically the Godfather from the movies. Marlon Brando, I guess it is. Whatever the guy's name was. And yeah, pretty cool. It says Kingpin Made limited edition on one side. A little hard to see the font and the writing that they use, the color. And then same on the other, and again you see that retro style artwork. Top seems to say Kingpin again, limited edition underneath the seal. Can't really tell. Bottom, more of the same. Then the back, you see 4 pips. Again, more 1930s style artwork. It says Kingpin Made limited edition, and it's signed by Scott King and Jeff, what's his name? It's on the ad card. Morin. Jeff Morin, who's one of the artists. And it's also got a seal that has 4 pips on it. It says Kingpin Made limited edition, and it says 673 out of 1250. However, that does not make it extremely limited. It's just a limited tuck case. There is 1250 of a different version called the Empire Made decks, which is the same thing, just a different tuck case. And I assume there's 1250 or so of those. Maybe 1,000. I don't know. Likewise, with these 2 decks, there was 2 different tuck cases made for them as well. One I know was the Cotton Club, and the other one was Stork Club, I think. I can't recall what it was. Anyway, this one on the flaps, there's nothing. Go figure. Limited edition, and they don't even bother to do anything with the flaps. or the inside of the tuck case. This one, as you can see, you got kind of a, what is that, pinstripe? It looks like a stripes on a suit. Same with this one. It's pretty cool. And then this one, nothing. Limited edition deck, and they don't really do anything with it. In fact, it's a limited edition deck, signed and numbered, and it doesn't have any foil, any embossing, no metallic inks, nothing. Seems a little bit disappointing. I mean, these ones are all tricked out. You got metallic inks, you got foils, slight embossings, especially on this one. Well, both of them. And they're not the limited edition ones, so what the hey. Let's get to the cards. Inside, you do find a Crooked Kings ad card that is Scott King's company, Crooked Kings. And actually, it's Scott King and Jeff Morin, who are the owners, and you can check them out on their website and their Facebook page. Here's the back design of these cards. Pretty interesting, kind of, again, 1930s, 40s style artwork, details. Not a big fan of these corners, but it's a minor thing. There's also an ad card for this Orbiter playing card display, which is again on Kickstarter because it failed the first time, but it's now funded, and it's a little bit different now, but it's basically the same. Jokers. It says Joker in the two corners. They got that nice 1930s, 40s style font and writing. In the two corners, it says Joker. The other two corners, you get all 4 pips. Big fascination with putting pips everywhere in these decks. I mean, they're all over the tuck cases, they're on the Jokers. It's kind of weird. Anyways, you see a cop pointing a gun at somebody. And he's holding his little stick as well. Not that stick. The other Joker is the cop with his motorcycle. And you see a bit of the skyline and the buildings in the backgrounds of each one. That's pretty cool. The Ace of Spades. A nice big pip. It's made up of a couple of knives on the stem and a couple of pistols up top. You can see there is a custom pip in the two corners. You got the custom indexes. On 2 corners, the other 2 corners, you got a pip in each one. So that's pretty cool. As well, the Ace of Hearts is liquor, scotch perhaps, and a cigar. A Cuban for sure. Custom pips, as you can see, throughout the deck. Ace of Clubs, everyone's favorite, money. Bills and coins. And the Ace of Diamonds is a cool classic 1930s automobile. Court cards feature all sorts of mobster characters. This one's been shot. Too bad. But this one has blood on his hand and shirt because he punched somebody. And you got women as well. This really cool, interesting fonts and lettering, weapons, everything fits with the theme and the era. This guy's committing suicide for some reason. Another guy with blood on a knife. Pretty cool number cards. Fairly simple. Standard custom pips. All the cards got these pips on the opposite corners. And I mean, I like it. It's a very nicely done deck. Good quality stock and finish. It almost feels like an aristocrat stock because of how nice and soft it is, as opposed to a bicycle stock. But then again, things are changing all the time. They're always changing the stocks and finishes. It does have an air cushion finish or magic finish as well. Handle's very nice, and can't say anything too bad about it. This is pretty cool though, huh? So let's move on to the next deck, the gold edition. This one is actually different. You do get the same 2 ad cards. The back design is similar yet different, and it's black bordered. A little bit of a letdown, but minor thing. Jokers, you got against kind of detective or cop This top hat looks like he's pulling out his gun or putting it away. And I don't know, something in the background like a saddle. Joker and everything is the same. And this one guy holding a rifle is another cop or detective. Long trench coat and holding his gun. Ace of Spades in this one is a guy leaning against an automobile, having a cigar or something. A different type of liquor or wine, I'm not sure what it is. I can't tell by the bottle or anything, but pretty cool nonetheless. It's red. Looks like a cocktail maybe. Here we got a couple of machine guns, old school. And for the Ace of Diamonds, a humidor with cigars. And actually interesting, there's also a pipe and a knife on there. Interestingly enough, they did actually sell humidors in the project if you wanted, which is pretty interesting, but didn't appeal to me obviously. It's pricey as well. Court cards are different than the previous deck. Similar but different. Which is nice. Font and pips, everything are exactly the same. That's the Ace. And again, the Suicide King. I can't understand why these guys are going to commit suicide, but perhaps they're going to be killed by somebody, and they figured better to kill myself than have them get the satisfaction of killing me, so boom. Number cards are the same as the other deck. I don't know. I don't know why they want to commit suicide. Or why anyone would want to, but this deck again, good quality, stock and finish. Disappointing that it has black borders because obviously it'll tip. I think white borders would have been fine, but I can understand it as well aesthetically. It's a little bit more pleasing with the black and gold to have black borders. So it's just a minor thing. And we got one more deck to look at. It's also a little bit ridiculous that they have a limited edition deck for each one of these. It's just a little bit excessive. This one again, similar style back design as the other two, except that it's black with red and some white. Pretty interesting. You get the same two ad cards. These ones actually got black faces. The Jokers are a bit different. It says Joker in the corner. It's kind of small, hard to read, but it's got that same font. And then you got this artwork that has all 4 pips within it. You also get all 4 pips in the opposite corner in dark colors. These are really dark colors. I don't even know what kind of colors those are. Kind of like a grayish and a red. Anyways, what you will see though is the artwork on the Jokers and the court cards and the Aces is the same as the last deck we looked at. But you do get different pips slightly and indexes. But if you look at the Ace of Spades, you'll see it's the same guy. Great pip though, I don't like that too much. However, I like it better than this. This is a very pale red, almost a brown color, and it doesn't contrast very much with the other aces, as you can see in the color. But you do get the same artwork as the last deck. There's that humidor again. And the court cards again, same guys. But different indexes. The indexes are different. You got these big pips in the background, as opposed to those pips in the corners that we saw in the previous decks. Same pips, it's just different colors, much larger than previously. I apologize about the lighting. Oh, wonderful. Phone call. Not for me though. So yeah, pretty cool. Number cards, spades and clubs are white pips, as opposed to the gray that you see on the court cards and the aces. And the hearts and diamonds, you get the regular red instead of what you see on the court cards and aces. So you get different indexes, different pips on some of the cards, and a different back design, but overall it's more or less the same as the gold edition, which is a little bit disappointing. You think doing 3 different decks, why not make this as unique as possible? It's nice that they changed the indexes in the back design, but it would have been nicer if they had gone the extra mile and changed the court cards and aces and jokers as well. But anyways, overall pretty cool decks. As far as handling is concerned, I would definitely say a 4 out of 5. As far as usability is concerned, aside from this deck, they're pretty good, they're pretty usable, fairly standard looking. So I would say definitely like a 3.5 out of 5 for usability. And as far as the style and the artwork and the theme, very good. I like it. 4.5 out of 5. Just, you know what? I'll say 4.5 out of 5. 4 out of 5, sorry. Just because I think they could have done a little bit more with this deck. And it's disappointing. It's a limited edition, signed, numbered, and it's got nothing really special about it. While these ones, the inside has got details to it. There's foils, there's metallic inks, all sorts of stuff, and they're not the limited edition, so it's kind of weird, kind of backwards. So that's just minor thing. So I guess, you know, overall I'll say 4 out of 5 for these decks. Pretty cool. You can get them, including the other versions, at collectibleplayingcards.com. Use the code VJS832 and get 10% off the order right now. See you next time with more reviews.